Hey everyone, it's Taylor from Bravely Beautiful. Today I'm going to be showing you how to look more rested and awake when you've been sick or sleep deprived or just haven't been feeling your best. I actually created this look on my beautiful mother who came to visit me last week, so it's also great for more mature skin. So if you'd like to see the full tutorial, then just keep watching. Now, I want to preface this tutorial by saying that you do not have to do all of these steps. Any of these tips by themselves will help you look more awake and refreshed. Obviously, if you do them all together, you're going to get the biggest benefit. So it starts with skincare, obviously. If you have the time to pamper yourself, then I highly recommend doing that. I had her do oil cleansing because I find that that really helps to rejuvenate the skin. It's a mild exfoliant. It also helps to hydrate and cleanse really well. You need to make sure to really remove any makeup that you have left over, especially mascara, because that can collect under the eyes and make you look like you have dark circles. Next, I had her do an eye mask from Wander Beauty. I believe it's called their eye baggage mask. So I had her do an eye mask. I had refrigerated it beforehand just to help plump up the area below, hydrate, and prepare for makeup. Next, I made sure to use a moisturizer that was appropriate for her. She has normal skin, maybe a little bit normal to dry during the winter. So I just used my own Cetaphil light moisturizer, and that was enough because I knew we were going to be using a tinted moisturizer on top of that. Then I used my new favorite primer from Clarins, and it's their Instant Smooth Primer. It works really well on all skin types and helps prevent makeup from settling into fine lines or wrinkles. When you're trying to look more awake and rested, it's better to go lighter if possible. So I used the Mercier tinted moisturizer, their oil-free version, in the shade Bisque, and I applied that lightly all over her face. It's lighter coverage, it's slightly moisturizing, a little bit luminous, so it works really well for mature skin, dry, dull skin, aging skin, or just anyone who wants lighter coverage. So I did one layer all over, and then I went back in with just a little bit wherever we needed more of it. Make sure to try to use a shade that matches your skin tone as best as possible. If it's too light, it can make you look kind of sickly. If it's too dark, it just draws attention to the fact that you're wearing a base. Next, we did concealer, which was a big part of this tutorial because we were trying to brighten and wake up the eyes. So I recommend using a pink toned concealer first, right where you're super dark, so generally in here and sometimes right in the inner corners of the eyes. So I patted a little bit of that in where she was the darkest first. This was just the Maybelline Age Eraser Rewind. It's a really long name. So once I patted that in, then I put a concealer that was just slightly lighter than her skin tone on top of it. And then I blended that in with a dampened beauty sponge. Then you can conceal anywhere else that you need to, making sure that your concealer matches your skin tone. So oftentimes someone who's been sick, their nose will be dry, they'll get a little red around there or around the sides of their nose. I actually used a little bit of Vaseline on her nose because it was really dry. She'd been blowing her nose a lot. I let that sink in, and then I did a little bit of concealer on top of that. Then we set the eyes. I first used the eye primer from Urban Decay, the gold one, and I use it on the top and then on the bottom as well on the lower lid. I've mentioned this in a previous video. I just find that it works the best for setting it for a really long time. So we did that, making sure to smooth out any creases that may have occurred. Then you're going to use a powder to set the under eye as well as the top lid. Most any powder would work. I just don't recommend using something super mattifying under the eyes. After that, we moved on to eyeshadow. I kept it really simple. I find that when you're trying to look awake and refreshed, you don't want really dark eyeshadow. You don't want a really colorful look going on because that just draws attention to those colors and not your overall features. So all we're trying to do is enhance and bring forward her natural features. So working with shadow and light. So I just used a eyeshadow that was a little bit darker than her natural skin tone. I used Bucked from Urban Decay. I did that in her crease, just really working that in slowly, building it up to get it to the point that I wanted it. You can do as little or as much as you would like, but I really recommend putting something in the crease because it just helps open up the eyes. So I only used two shades, Bucked from Urban Decay, and then the other one that I used, the other shade that I used was Bribe. So a shade for shadow, which is usually a neutral brownie shade, taupey shade, and then a shade for light, which is any cream shade that's a little bit lighter than your skin tone. We did the light shade all over the lid as well as right under the brow bone, and then the darker shade in the crease, just building it up to where I wanted it to be. So then we did eyeliner. It's important not to do something really harsh or dramatic on your eye when you're already kind of looking tired or dull or drawn. We really just want to enhance those features. So I did an eyeliner that I put on a brush and then really softly put that on her upper lash line, and then just brought it up a little bit at the outer corner, kind of creating a little bit of a triangle, but buffing that out, making sure that it was really soft to just kind of blend into the upper lid and the crease to really open those eyes up. Next are brows. Brows are definitely something that's very important when you're trying to look more awake, because having a good defined brow just kind of lifts your whole eye and makes your face look more awake. So, you know, not a super harsh brow, but enhancing what you have, a nice soft brow that goes with your features. She already has pretty good brows, so I just shaped them a little bit, darkened up the tail end of it a little bit, and called it good. Then I used a flesh colored eyeliner in her bottom waterline. This was to help counteract any pink or redness going on there that can make your eyes look watery or sickly. And this helps brighten as well. It's important to know whether or not your eyes get irritated by the specific eyeliner that you're using, because obviously if you get irritated by that eyeliner, then it's going to do the opposite and cause your eyes to look more red. So make sure it's an eyeliner that you're familiar with and that you know that you handle well. Then I made sure to curl the lashes. That's a great way to open up your eyes and make them look bigger before you put on mascara. For blush, I chose to use a cream blush. I find that it makes it look more like that flush is coming from within rather than just sitting on the skin. So I used a cream blush from Hourglass and just stippled that onto her skin, you know, kind of evoking that flush from within look. Then I very lightly powdered the skin just in the T-zone, super, super lightly, a little bit here around the nose and around the chin, just to set everything together. Then we used a little bit of bronzer. I used the bronzer to warm up the face as well as contour slightly. So in the hollows of the cheeks, around the perimeter of the face, under the jawline, just warming it up and providing a little bit more depth in specific areas. The last thing was mascara. If you choose to only do one thing on your eyes, it would be mascara. But I used a mascara formula from Covergirl, their Clump Crusher Water Resistant, that I know does not flake and lasts a long time, because that can be one of the bigger contributors to making you look tired, is if you have a mascara that's old or is just a bad mascara and flakes or runs, and you start to see that collecting in your inner corner or under your eye, that's definitely gonna make your eyes look really dark and tired. I like this mascara because it's also great for separating, so it looks very natural, lengthened, and really helps to open up those eyes. Okay everyone, so that was it. This was my tutorial to help you look more awake and rested when you've been sick or tired or not sleeping, or would just like to look more refreshed and awake every day. I hope you found some helpful tips in this video and will use some of them in your routine as well. If you liked this video, make sure to hit the like button and leave a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe if you would like to see more content from me. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!